basically being an astronaut, I might imagine, out in outer space. And, okay, snorkeling is a little bit like scuba diving. So they have the same, my favorite thing about it is the feeling of weightlessness, is you're just floating along, you're swimming, but it's not like swimming, like it's all peaceful and completely, your body and your mind are completely relaxed. It's really an experience in itself. Some say that it might be the nitrox talking, but I think it happens the moment you go underwater. It's just so peaceful down there. It really is a different world. And that's my second favorite thing about scuba diving is when you're down there, you're an explorer, exploring a totally new world. Everything is like new and interesting. Everything is fascinating down there. Every little rock, and there's all different colors and plant life and fish and animals that are just so amazing. I love that. I love the exploring feeling. And then my third favorite thing is the community, friendships, family relationships that you build. Like I said, I started, and it was a really cool thing for my dad and I to do together. And then I went to college, and I joined the scuba club in college, and I took some more classes, got my advanced nitrox rescue and assistant instructor certifications. I met a whole bunch of people in college and made some very dear friends through scuba. And then just traveling, it's so easy to meet people and make friends traveling when you have that same thing in common. And then 2 years ago, my brother and husband got certified, so now it's something that we can do together as well. I will say, although I love scuba diving, it's not all peaches and cream. Although I think it's very easy to be a very safe diver, it is a very serious matter, of course. And you might think that the most dangerous thing about scuba diving is running out of air. But in fact, it's not. The most dangerous thing about scuba diving is panic. Because usually when people panic, they shoot to the surface. And what happens then is, when you go up, all the bubbles in your body and in your brain and your lungs and in your joints expand. So when you shoot up, they expand too fast, and I've heard it doesn't feel very good. So when that happens, you rush a diver to a decompression chamber, which is pretty much like it sounds. They just compress, and the air bubbles go back down, and then they very slowly, gradually release the pressure at a rate your body can handle it. That's why scuba divers have to rise very slowly. But when you run out of air, you can just buddy breathe. You always dive with a buddy. As long as you remain calm, it should be fine. So it's the panic that's really the scariest thing. I had one near panic experience. I almost panicked, I guess I should say. But I think of myself as a very calm person, and have been diving. I've been on, I don't know, maybe 200 dives or something. And it was during my rescue certification, right out at Cowles, like near where the surfers are, but over closer to the wharf. And the reason that we choose that point is because you literally can't see your hand in front of your face. It's so cloudy, the way that the waves come in and stir up all the sand. So it's a rescue test is what I was on. So they drop a brick, and then you have to go down and do all these different kinds of patterns to find it with your buddy. But what happened was, it was in the part of the test where my buddy's unconscious, we're pretending my buddy is unconscious, and I have to rescue her. So you have to like swim and take off one piece of gear at a time, off of me and off of her, except for the buoyancy. But actually even, out there you're wearing a 7mm wetsuit, so that's plenty of buoyancy, keeps you afloat. And my foot got caught around the cord, and it was pulling me under. And even though it was my test, so of course you can't panic on your test, it was actually a serious situation, and I was on the surface, but I kept being pulled under. I think it was caught on like this buckle here. sitting there watching me, and I'm like, okay, just hold on. I had to entangle myself. So I mean, eventually I got a big breath of air, went down, and like finally yanked it free somehow. So it wasn't. I didn't panic, I would say, but I was definitely on the brink of panicking. But out of all the dangers and near panic experiences people might have, I still have an optimistic outlook, and I see the benefits that scuba diving has brought to me in my life. I think because of scuba diving, I can handle really the most intense situations. I can remain calm and methodically think out, running out of air. And so I bring that, I think, into my daily life. And the other thing is just bringing in planning, preparation, and being proactive to, anticipate any problems. I've been scuba diving so long that now it's become second nature when I go diving. I'm like always doing, double checks on every little piece of equipment. And so there's a lot that you can benefit from scuba diving. I'd encourage anyone here to try scuba diving if you have the interest, and please feel free to email me if you need recommendations.